Okay. Good day, listeners out there. I am Aikibda Mohammed, international business consultant, entrepreneur, and I'm also a human rights activist and can I say journalist? So I just came here. I heard of one new trend or one new different method of treatment or health system, which is called holistic health consulting and stress and lifestyle clinic. Wow, it's very new name. So I'm actually here today to have a talk, a one-on-one talk. It's not like an interview, just a one-on-one talk with the person behind this wonderful idea. That's the brain behind this wonderful idea. It's actually a young aspiring Cameroonian. He's called Dr. Francis Peng. So he's just beside me on the left side. And from what I have here, I think this Dr. Francis Peng is somebody who studied in the Quantum University of USA for over 8 years. He also studied in Rafa Healthy Living Institute in Ikeja, Nigeria. It's a whole list of his profile, but I'll just give a draft of what I have here. He's also a health consultant for over 9 years today, and he's board certified, registered under the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. So Dr. Francis Peng will be talking to us today about nutritional consulting, energy healing, and advanced stress management, which are things he has 100% skills is. Those are things he's really mastermind and he was trained in. So I'll be here to ask him about the holistic health consulting stress and what is it even. So I'll be here to ask him. So let's get details about it. Okay, so just stay tuned to the camera while we meet Dr. Francis Peng.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed, for the talk you have initiated. I think it's good we clear the air on this word holistic healing and holism as a whole. In fact, the word holistic comes from the word whole, which actually means that the human body is a whole. Okay. The term was actually coined by a South African politician some time ago to say that dealing with the whole human being is always better than dealing with parts that constitute this whole.
Okay.
Yeah, which means that if you have a headache, instead of looking at it as a purely headache problem and treating the headache, we're treating the whole human being to get rid of the headache. In fact, people of the natural realm have taken this term by storm to say that anytime somebody's in pain, it's always good to go beyond the symptoms. Okay. You look at the whole human being instead of looking at the headache as a separate part, as if it were working independently. Okay. So that's specifically what it means by holism.
So if I understand, holism is a new kind of term to say treatment should be generalized, not only on a particular treatment. Like maybe you can have headache and you just go, most of us Cameroonians or Africans, we say we need to take the paracetamol or chloroquine to treat that headache. But when we talk of holistic, if I have headache, it means I will need to check throughout. So, but I think that one is way expensive. Okay, I understand the term quite alright. Now, for the second question I have, what are the different kind of advantages and disadvantages of holistic health services and consulting? Because I will really need to know what I stand to gain if I'm actually going to check my whole system or to know what is stressing me. Okay,
thank you so much. I think you want to know the difference between this new approach to health and healing, yes, and already existing approaches that are out there.
Yes, sir.
The very first thing is that the advantages we have here are so many. The first thing is that we refuse to look at pain as purely a pain problem. We always think that pain is an origin. So look at the origin of the pain and look at the pain at the same time will mean that when the pain eventually goes away, it will be permanent healing. It will not be kind of symptomatic kind of healing like the other approaches out there. They will have things like traditional naturopathy, which use herbs to eradicate headaches, stomach pain, and all those other things. We will have the conventional medicine that use paracetamol or that kind of drugs to eradicate headache and then diarrhea, for example. Now, they are looking at cure the diarrhea itself and the headache. What about what initiated that pain in the first place? Do not forget that headache is just a sign, so that something is wrong, fundamentally wrong underneath. And that origin has to be tackled at the same time as you are tackling the pain itself. If not, what we are doing is actually kind of superficial kind of treatment, and that's why those illnesses always come back again and again and again with the other existing approaches.
If I understand, an advantage of holistic method of treatment or method advantages is that if I have a problem, I treat the problem once and for all.
Yes.
Because there's one, a wise man once said, no sickness actually has a treatment. Like, if you have malaria today, you go, you take malaria treatment, you treat the malaria, but 6 months later, 2 years later, you still go and check, they'll tell you have malaria. So it means you just treated it for a particular period of time, but you didn't cure it. So if I understand, can the holistic method of treatment cure the malaria completely? Then and I practice your method of treatment, does it mean I'm guaranteed not to have malaria for the next 5 years?
Yeah, because we are looking at the malaria beyond the malaria. We're looking at the same time the sickness and the mosquitoes. Yes, we cannot treat the sickness as it was different from the mosquitoes. If you don't take measures to prevent the mosquito from biting you, you still come with malaria. So a holistic health practitioner that I am will be looking at the malaria and then look at what caused the malaria. We eradicate what caused the malaria at the same time we're eradicating the illness. So when the malaria is gone, you'll be gone in permanent healing. That is there.
Okay.
Yes. So that cannot be ignored.
So what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages for me, one of the disadvantages I've seen, maybe it's something, it's like the holistic method of treatment period of time than the normal way of treatment. That's one disadvantage. So can you tell me another disadvantage as an expert?
Yeah, the thing is, people think that there are some constraints involved, given that you have to take care of the mosquito and take care of the malaria, and that is too much work. That's what they think. But I think that the only true asset you have is your heart. Okay. And if you can sacrifice in doing all that, taking care of the mosquito and taking care of the malaria at the same time, when malaria is gone, it's permanent healing that has come. You don't have malaria again. Because you are taking care of the mosquitoes.
So does it mean if I arrange my house in such a way that after treatment, if I arrange my house in such a way that, or whatever, because I believe most of us who work in the offices, at the offices, you cannot sit in the office and the mosquito bite you. Yeah. So if I'm going to work from 9 to 5 or from 7 to 6, it depends on how my work is scheduled, and my house is being reserved, everything is arranged, does it mean I'm guaranteed not to have malaria?
Well, of course, because the malaria was caused by a parasite. I mean, and it doesn't make sense and it's logical to think that if mosquito doesn't bite you, malaria will not come.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I have another question for you. How profitable is this holistic consulting method of treatment? Is when you said it's preventative and curative. How profitable it is to someone who is actually watching this talk right now? How profitable can I say it is, or how helpful it is to them?
Yeah, I want to say one thing. As somebody once said, we are not sick because we are drug deficient. We are sick because we are ignorant about what to do in order to be heard. So knowledge is everything. Another person also once said, we lack not more medication, but we now lack knowledge in order to be heard, or to be able to recover from any illness that we are already suffering or undergoing. So the person who is listening to us right now is already being empowered by this knowledge, by this new teaching that we're trying to give, because our techniques are largely educative in nature. And anybody who is empowered with knowledge is empowered indeed, and that knowledge can be used to transform his heart and his life. Okay. So it's very important.
I believe they say education is one of the key and actually one of the fastest means of developing a country. So if you love your country, you love to maybe educate them. So does holistic health consulting offer any kind of education program to help educate people, like free seminars or something like that, to help educate people, like even once a month? Because me as a humanitarian, that's what I'm already thinking automatically, to help educate my people. Have holistic health consulting ever done something like that before to help the community?
Thank you so much. I think our duty at the clinic to do this regular empowerment, regular trainings, regular educative programs. And last year, in August last year, we did a mega training here where we trained people on nutritional healing. And we demonstrated with our different healing, nutritional healing techniques like the juicing, the sprouting, the healthy cooking, and people were empowered. We actually trained and commissioned 20 persons who were given the title of Health Living Ambassadors, and they are out there spreading the same news that it's time to change eating, it's time to review the eating pattern, it's time to do all this, and then it is fine. That's just one. Okay. We also have what we call the emotional freedom technique, which is one of our stress management techniques that we teach people every day, because we have seen that stress is actually eating us up. Like rust is iron, and actually is the brain behind chronic illnesses. So when we teach people how to manage their stress on a daily basis, the stress will not accumulate, they become chronic illness like cancer, diabetes in future. So we have this regular program. We teach them this EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. It's a very powerful program. We have other programs like that, like our yoga exercises that we teach on a Monday basis.
Yoga as well?
Yes, yoga exercises. For those who whose belief system suit that practice, we teach them because they are powerful flexibility enhancement exercises. So we teach them how to get this health benefit of exercising in a shorter time than somebody who runs out there for a couple of hours.
Okay.
So it's amazing what we do.
For my next question, don't say I'm bothering you with too much questions. Yeah, for my next question, I would like to know, like, who are the people concerned in this particular method of treatment? Is it old people? Is it the young? Is it women or men? Or, you know, in Africa we have this mindset of maybe sicknesses or things like this are mostly for women. So I don't really know who are those concerned.
Thank you so much again. I think as for those who are concerned, I want to say everybody's concerned. You see, as somebody once said, the treatment of chronic disease lies in the prevention, which means that if you learn our healing modalities and you grow with them, this consciousness, you'll not be sick in the first place, and that is preventive. Everyone can fall sick, a child can fall sick, the middle age can fall sick, the old can fall sick. So with our healing, with our educative talks, with our trainings, with our empowering modalities, we train you in order to prevent illness so illness doesn't come. And if illness is already there, we train you what to do in order to overcome the illness. So everybody actually involved, because it doesn't involve all those who are sick. Even those who are in health, we want to transform their health to a different level, or to have a different state of health. For example, your weight may not be that which you like. You want to increase the bit, we teach you on how to go about it. Your weight may be too much for you, and it's putting pressure on you. We teach you on what to do in order to shed this weight at will.
Okay.
So knowledge is actually power here. Knowledge is everything. So everybody benefits from our teachings and from our healing techniques. The children, the middle age, and the old.
Okay. So finally, how affordable is it for one to consult with the holistic consulting method of system? How affordable it is? Can anyone, because from the look of things, like it's only for the rich.
Yeah, thank you for that question. To think that it's only for the rich is a kind of large misconception. Our healing modalities employ nature to effect healing, and nature does not actually entail cost or much cost as per se. If I were to teach you some deep breathing exercises, I will not be taxing you, but teach you on how to breathe, how to do this conscious rhythmic abdominal breath in order to improve your circulation, in order to improve your digestion, in order to enhance your immune function. So we teach you these techniques for a minimal cost. What only entails cost is when we have to begin to recommend that you should buy some herbs, some supplements. That one entails cost. And I think it is an investment you want to do. Because somebody once said it, if you're not investing in your health, you have to invest in your healing. It's a matter of time. And he investing in healing rather than investing in health. The biggest error you can ever do. Because once sickness comes, there is trauma attached to it. So you want to preferably invest in your health so that you don't become sick in the first place. Okay. So in fact, this technique, this new way of looking at the healing reality or the healing art is one that everybody wants to invest in. The cost is just very minimal, because if you attend our educative talks, you will learn to exercise consciously. You learn to drink water consciously. You learn to rest consciously. You want to prioritize raw eating consciously. So it doesn't really entail too much cost as per se. Okay. Yeah.
So in a nutshell, like when you say it doesn't entail too much cost, what is the summary of what? Does it mean with even 50,000 francs or with 10,000 francs I can consult, or what's the minimal? I want to know.
Thank you so much. I think that the precision I had to make that it just went off my mind. I think that here we consult with 10,000 francs, and then we have our different stress tests that we perform, and that costs 15,000 francs. We also have a program who we have to draw for you that has consulted with us, and we'll give you and we'll help you to implement.
It means I don't necessarily need to be sick to come and consult.
Perfect. Right? It is actually largely preventive.
You know, us in Africa, and I want to know, is it like the hospital when you come to consult, you have to stand on lines or wait for hours? Because these are one of the things that really discourage people.
Yeah, what is most amazing about this kind of healing modality is that we know our patients as they are. We know everything. We actually take time. Our consulting takes no less than 2 hours. But there's a lot to find out there. Yeah, and there's a lot to do as well. Even just our stress test that we do. To know what are the stress levels for the day, how much stress they're at the cellular level, how much stress they're in the blood, for how long have been harboring the stress. It takes a lot of time. So we actually take time to consult, and that money you pay for the analysis and for the consultation is actually worth it. You will never regret coming here. And please, as I say it, when you come here, we take a lot of time to go talk with you so that we know exactly what is happening there at the energy level, at the emotional level, everything. And all that one will help us come up with a program which will help you to implement. Okay. So it is largely preventive assisting.
Okay.
The healthy will come, the sick will come alike.
Okay. So for the last question, I think the last question is, how can someone contact Holistic Health Service Center and clinic, and where is it located exactly? So for the how can someone contact, I know maybe the contact will be pasted somewhere in between the video, but what I would like to know is the address, because on my way here I'm sure we're somewhere around Damas in Yaoundé Center. Are there other branches in Douala or in Bamenda, in other parts of Cameroon, or is it just here in Yaoundé? If it's here in Yaoundé, I think you should be the one to give the perfect directions to the viewers out there on how we can contact you guys or how we can get the location.
Yeah. Thank you. We are located at Simbok, behind Southern Nursing Training School. They call it Rosier Superior. Actually, a school that trains state-retired nurses. So if you come to Rock Point and from there, you say, I'm coming to behind Rosier Superior. I think the bike or the taxi should be able to drop you exactly. For our contacts, you can reach us on the telephone number 652-231745.
Okay.
Yeah, and our website is holisthealth.org.
So I think the website will be displayed.
So it will be displayed, and I think you can get it. And for the center, I think this is the only center we have for now.
Okay.
We intend to extend our tentacle with time.
So he said the address is at behind Rosier Superior, Damas. Okay, okay. It's one popular school.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Francis. And thank also the viewers, the people watching this program. I really appreciate your efforts, and I think I thank you also for giving me this time. And I think you watching right there, you just need to maybe create some time out. I know everyone is busy. Just create some time out through your busy schedules. You can book an appointment with Dr. Francis and meet and discover this wonderful health opportunity that is outside right now. Okay, thank you once more. Thank you. I'm Mohammed. Thank you very much.